Up right now. Here we go. We live and in color. Look at my food. I just had food I made and everything. We ready to go. All right, folks. We are here. We're live and we're talking about serious ish. Is it serious? Yeah, I guess it's serious. So, without further ado, let's get to the intro, man. Let's go. Anyways, it's me. It's the E.
And it's spelled right.
E to the WPG. That's how we doing it. Welcome to the Unleashed Podcast. Boy, Sir Tokes, aka the Beast Tunde Tokubo, and my co-host, Jules Harvey. How you doing today, bro?
I am doing amazing. Amazing. The weather is beautiful.
Yeah, you see, I know you're gonna go with the weather. See, that's why I had to catch you off because it's warming up here. It's warming up in Winterpeg right now, right? And we're enjoying the floods we're about to expect right now. So I'll come back to you when it's nice outside. Maybe I'll do a podcast outside. I don't know.
Ooh, I should do one from my dock.
See this it, bruh. Chill out, right? Just hold that. Anyways, we are talking about the slap heard around the world. That man, Will Smith, brought West Philly back and just went, boom. Where is my, oh, shoot. Here's my move. Okay, you know what? I got something for you. I got somebody else coming.
I'll be right back.
Yeah, we here. So yes, we are talking about the slap that everyone was witness to at the Oscars. Will Smith coming on strong against Chris Rock when he made a joke about Will Smith's wife, Jada Pinkett Smith. Again, the angles and the cameras and all the people involved have assumed that they were both chuckling about the matter. Then when cameras panned off them, you then saw Will Smith casually walk up to Chris, not even knowing what was going to happen, and then gave him an open hand slap. Now, I think that's a large disrespect when it comes to hitting a man. Because when you slap a man, that's open palm. That's old school. That's saying, yo, you don't deserve the fist. You're getting all of this. So again, that was probably, I say, one of the darkest days in TV history. All right. I say that because of the persona that both of these, well, all three involved. And of course, the before and the after. There's a lot of puzzle pieces that are added to this amazing story. And I'm going to add in another good friend, my very old friend, videographer extraordinaire. Used to work with this man in the call center. Mamoon, how you doing today?
I'm doing good, man. What's going on? How's everybody doing?
Great, that's good. I'm going to introduce everybody. First, I'm going to introduce my Unleashed fitness ambassador, Kaylee, up there in the corner there. How you doing, girl?
I'm good. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. I love that outfit you're wearing today. Looking nice.
Me too. Super cozy.
Yeah. That's all right. She is an extraordinary business owner, esthetician.
Close enough.
There you go. Well, I try. Vocabulary. English is not my second language. I mean, my first language. Anyways. And my boy T. T, where are you calling from? I don't see. This guy's like the unknown right now. Where he's calling from right now? Where are you calling from?
I'm in my dismal dark dungeon right now. Yeah, I'm just outside of Toronto right now.
There you go. T Dot in the house. This is my buddy in my fantasy football family. Known him through a few friends, and we've been close talking about a lot of things. And this topic hit home to him in a different vibe. So he's gonna explain his side of things as well. And of course, Mamoon here popped in on one of my posts about the subject, and I said, you know what? I haven't seen or heard from this man in ages. I need to hear what this man has to say about this topic. But again, I'm going to throw it to my boy Harv, who does live in the States and does hear this and see this stuff probably more frequently than us Canadians do. So give us your 2 cents of what was going on with Will Smith and Chris Rock. Hit it.
First of all, I'm going to say that was a weak ass slap.
What?
It was a weak ass slap.
Agreed.
Yeah.
That was a stuntman slap. Didn't you? Haven't you seen all the videos about him? You know,
I mean,
people?
for Will Smith's size, that was weak. Yeah.
He was Ali. So I don't know why he didn't just give him a right hook.
He was flipping because he had his church shoes on, and like it just looked awkward. It was like an awkward slap.
It wasn't a South Philly slap. It was definitely not a South Philly slap.
It was real stiff.
Yeah.
Now, mind you, I am a slapper.
Oh, you're one of those disrespecting guys, huh?
Yeah. So
as big as you are, you slapping people.
That's what we're doing.
If you would have saw my posts and the people that commented on my posts, I went on. So when I was doing security, I went on like a 2-year slap season.
I said,
what is this, like the Olympics? Like how?
You said 2 years.
Y'all know there was an actual like slapping competition.
Yeah,
there is. I've seen that.
Yeah.
And they have to have listen. They have to have a whole bunch of people.
Will need not sign up for that. He is not.
They have you have to have a whole bunch of people behind the person getting slapped, and there's like these grip pieces that you have to hold on to, right? Because really, you can actually get knocked off from a slap.
Yes.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Absolutely.
It's like the over the top setup. You guys remember over the top was
It's
like that. Like you're gripped. You are like you have a platform and you're locked in, and then you wind up, and it's wild. But yeah, Will Smith. He cannot be contested on that game show.
I know this.
I'll be honest. I'll say something right now. The slap was just as weak as the joke itself. To be very frank.
No, hold on. Before we get there, I want to know, how does one train for a slap competition?
So for me,
hey mom, your boyfriend's ugly. What the? No, that's what you doing.
So, but the thing is, I like for me, it was very. I wanted to demasculate any man that thought that he had an issue.
Yeah,
in slapping him is.
That's like calling him a bitch, like you want to bitch slap someone.
What do you? So
bitch is like that's like 3rd grade.
You slap him, If you slapping a man, you're calling him a bitch, straight up.
Oh yeah.
Calling him a bitch.
But I didn't really understand the joke. I didn't think the joke was that good either. But
it could have been a lot worse, to be honest.
It wasn't a good joke. I mean, it wasn't a good joke. Like nobody would have remembered it had that not have happened. To be honest.
No, like my stand-up comedy career lasted about 2 minutes, and I even had better jokes than that one about G.I. Jane.
Now here's the thing. Now let's get into it then. Do you think now it was the joke itself? Because there's a whole bunch of, again, pieces and arms and legs to this thing. Do you think it was the joke itself that triggered him to do this?
No.
No.
It was Jada's eye roll.
But
it was her response for sure. Her response was cold.
Basically, because I do believe they both giggled at the beginning, and then they panned off camera.
He did for sure, but I think that she kind of was like,
I think she smiled and then like rolled her eyes like, oh, like this type of joke again.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
But now
so her eye roll wasn't actually at the fact that she was offended. I'm not really like, because I watched it a little bit times, and
Mhm.
I think it was about the fact that this joke is so old. You know when you're like, so when I was young, when I was
Here we
16 years
go.
old, like I'll be honest, when I was 16 years old, I used to work for a company called the Minolta Tower in Niagara Falls, and my job was literally like the elevator guy. You know what I mean? And I just get in there, and it's about 30 seconds. You have the spiel that you have to say, and there was the same joke that happens every single time people get into the idea. And I had the same look on my face as Jada every time they say it, which is, this job of yours has a lot of ups and downs. Ha ha ha! Everybody just laughs about it.
Yeah.
Right? Like, oh yeah, okay. No, it was literally that kind of a look that she gave. It was like, okay, I've heard this joke before. Like, it's tired. It wasn't, honestly. I don't think she was offended. I genuinely don't think she was offended. I think your boy was just having issues.
It was like if you work in retail and there's no sign on there, and someone says, "Oh, I guess it's free."
That's right.
Like, come on.
That's the kind of joke it is. It wasn't a good joke.
Okay.
No,
So
That's like when a cop walks into Tim Hortons to get coffee and everyone puts up their hands. It wasn't me.
yep. So
very
so
funny. Yeah,
true.
totally.
So true. Okay, so now that we've defined that we don't think it was a joke that did it, and we think it's more so the mindset. I had a theory that the reason why he did it and the reason why Jada did not say anything. Here's my thing. We'll go back a few months, maybe even a year, I think, when the whole situation with August and Jada came out on the red table there. And Will was on the show. And for the life of me, I believe Will's career was on a thread just because of how he looked. He was just distraught. He was not the comic. He was not the powerful guy. He was pretty much just getting beat down emotionally to the point where it looks like he was going to give up on life. That's what I saw.
He looked
He was
humiliated.
at that
I mean,
point.
there was a meme made about it, and everyone
Yes, exactly.
has seen it. You know.
Oh yeah.
He
So
was
my
crushed.
thought is that Jada had every opportunity to say something. Okay, had every opportunity to say something. Again, she is a very openly
Say
colorful
something about
person.
what?
About the joke. If she really wanted to say something,
Because
So
she
I
hasn't
do
said anything
believe-
yet, right? She hasn't opened her
no,
mouth about anything.
correct. So I think she didn't say anything to help Will tackle the situation. Reason why I say that is because, again, media and the whole Hollywood world has kind of beaten down on Will, saying that, he's just that side man. He doesn't have anything to say. He doesn't really say anything. Meanwhile, Jada could have said anything to Chris to stand up for herself, because she can't stand up for herself. So now Will gets that opportunity to save face for himself, step up there on stage like nobody else has, slap this man, and walk off like nothing. And then starts cussing him out, thinking that, hey, yeah, I'm the manly man. I ain't freaking twisted. I ain't freaking hurt. I got this. I am the husband. So I think he was trying to save his image of being the husband, of being the man of that relationship, and taking the power back from the media, from social media, from all these others that have been making fun of him for months, maybe even a year, about that whole situation with his wife and others in their lives. So do you guys want to chime in on that?
So all the videos I've seen since I went and actually did some research of it, because I had no idea. I just always thought she always rocked short hair. And then there's a video of her saying how powerful she feels and blah, 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 blah. So if you feel so powerful, why is it so upsetting? And Will's image is he's a Fresh Prince. Like, it's not like he doesn't have like a Mike Tyson image, and so I think the biggest problem is the reason why people don't like them is because every chance she gets, like she makes him look like shit. So people already hate Jada. They already hate her.
They do. There is a lot of hate towards Jada right now, or there has been.
They're calling her toxic.
Mm-hmm.
Toxic. So,
I
mean,
think like, when you look at the video, Will started laughing. He was laughing at it, and it's almost like as soon as he saw her reaction, it was kind of like a split section reaction where he had to where he almost felt pressure to do something because he hasn't done anything in the past. So it's almost like this was. I think he regrets it, to be honest, because I don't know. I think he stayed his ass in his chair and
listen. Without any doubt, like I think we should get this out of the way. Without any doubt, he doesn't think he did the right thing right now.
No,
like without, and not even right now. I think
for sure.
I think immediately the moment after when he sat down, he knew he didn't do the right thing. He overcompensated. He became too vulnerable, too vulnerable to his emotional reactions, and he overcompensated. He overreacted. And he looked like an idiot. Do you see what I'm saying? And it happens, right? But his just basically happened in front of the whole world. You know what I'm saying? However, honestly, I actually even want to give out some props to Chris Rock, man, because honestly, I never used to like him, but damn it, immediately at that moment, I'm like, yo, this guy is this is what a way to handle it, though, eh? That's a guy
handled it pretty well.
Yeah, immediately, within seconds, the guy was mumbling. He's like, I could, and you hear him say this. This is actually something that he actually said. He said, I could. And in the back of my mind, I was like, this guy could mop the floor immediately. He could destroy Will Smith's career at this moment just with words. But yet he restrained himself. As all right.
You're lucky
and then he moves on immediately from. I'm telling you, I was so impressed. Because I watched it multiple times. I'm like, and immediately he moves on from the moment to okay, what is this going to be like tomorrow? He's like, oh, that was the greatest night. He's just immediately okay, here is he thought about it immediately, and he thinks of the consequences of what's going to happen, and he immediately you see, honestly, I don't know how, if you have it to play it back, you got to play it back to the people right now, because this guy goes from being hit to immediately the restraints of his hands right behind his back immediately. It wasn't even a thing where he had to think about it. And Chris Rock has always been the kind of guy who always says, I'm not a fighter, I'm not even a sporty kind of guy, I'm not any of that. But for sure, he's a guy who, at that point, he could have thrown a hand. You know what I'm saying? He could have thrown some hand, but he didn't do it. So I always want to give it up to him, because
he was startled though.
Yeah, absolutely. Because after that, he couldn't bring the announcement of the actual documentary that he was doing. He couldn't get it out.
He was startled.
Yeah, he fumbled.
He was shook a little bit.
Yeah, totally.
Which is disturbing.
I mean, I don't think he was going to expect that type of reaction to the joke.
I don't think
because we all know, and this is one side of the stance.
It's a weak joke. He knew it was a weak joke.
Not even the joke. Whether it was a weak joke or not, it was a joke. He is a comedian. He is paid to do and he's a good comedian. Do you know why? Because he can pick people in the audience and right away, like a freestyle artist, can make up a joke in his head, deliver it, and keep on going. That's what he was paid. That's what presenters are picked to do, to be quick-witted, looking nice, and present their award. That's it. And he did.
Handled it really well.
He's hosted many awards before, so it's not like this is his first rodeo. It's not like he has said.
Didn't he do that? Didn't he do the last one too, or he did the 2020? Right?
He did a couple years ago.
He did a couple years ago. The Oscar So White version, as
and remember, he actually took a jab at
he did, because Jada wasn't invited, and they were complaining about Will Smith not being nominated for his role in Concussion.
He took a jab at her,
and he took a jab at both of them. But again, they've been friends for years. I posted pictures of Chris Rock dressing up in drag on Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
He was he acted as the French Princess girl. Yeah.
So it's not like they had beef. Honestly, there was no beef. Again, to my knowledge, I don't know the ins and outs of what's going on in Hollywood. So it's the fact that Will Smith is not in the best mental state, and he could not control his
Yeah,
emotions.
your boy's not doing
And
well.
I hate to say that. I hate to say this, but that moment has ruined his career. Whether people say it or not, that I believe ruined his career. Not because that he can't make that money or he won't make that big movie. People won't respect him anymore as the person he once was. And then on top of that, the non-apology to Chris Rock on stage was even worse. Right? There's people that have chimed in across the board. Bill Meyer, sorry, Jim Carrey, Tiffany Haddish, all these people,
Yeah, I saw
right?
Yeah.
There's all these people who are in the industry of being a comedian, and they're going to bat for, for Chris Rock because it was just a joke. It was
Yeah,
just
but
a joke.
I don't think it's going to end Will's career.
Not at all. Not at all.
I honestly he's not going to be the same. He's got a lot of cleaning up to do.
There's rants from oh man, what's the guy that did what's his name? Mel Gibson has rants. It's not like he hasn't done anything since.
Listen, the last movie
done.
he did
He's
was
done. Mel Gibson
Expendables.
is done ever since he said that.
Again, you're telling me he's not done. He's done. He hasn't done anything since.
Mel Gibson has been done.
The guy from Kramer. He did a whole big rant about the N-word. Yeah. He's done.
He's done.
Right?
Joe Rogan's still rocking?
Yeah, but
who's rocking?
I don't think
Joe Rogan's still rocking.
Joe Rogan.
Yes.
Yeah, but no. Hold on. But Joe Rogan's people, the people who actually listen to Joe Rogan, don't get offended by that. That's the whole reason.
Right.
That's a good point.
Right.
That's a good point.
Will Smith makes family movies, bro. That's what he does.
Yes.
He makes family movies for liberals who are educated in a sense. There's a sense of way of how to speak to people, how to behave towards certain people. That's the kind of people who actually go and watch his movies, not Joe Rogan.
Exactly. And this is coming from a movie man himself. Yo,
I don't think this is gonna ruin Will Smith's career. I don't think this incident is big enough to ruin Will Smith's career.
Again,
the
world is talking
down the
about
middle,
this.
to be honest. Like, there's a lot of people that are supporting Chris Rock, but there are still like a lot of people that are supporting Will Smith and just like the mental health aspect and all that.
So that's a good point. So I don't follow a lot of celebrity gossip. I don't have, it does not have any impact on how I go to sleep at night, and I don't care for it. And so, like, I didn't watch the Oscars. Award shows are useless. It doesn't matter. Like, my favorite artists are rarely winning awards, so I don't bother with it. So I come into work the day after, and it's all the talk in the locker room. I'm like, I don't know what you guys are talking about. So I watched the video, and then it's one thing to watch the video, but then it's another thing to hear all the aftermath of everyone's opinions, and then more video and different angles and different perspectives. And so, when Tanya, when I was invited to come onto this podcast, I'm like, all right, let me do some research. So I'd heard, past stories or gossip about the state of their relationship and the state of their marriage, and that there was some infidelity. And I thought that the infidelity went both ways.
It did.
But then I watched this. The impression it was an open relationship.
Yeah, it did.
Right. Okay. And so, but then I'm watching this like live interview where the two of them are sitting across chairs, and she's coming undone to him of her infidelity. But I'm watching this, and it didn't sit right with me at all, because it looked as if Jada was sitting across from Will saying, I cheated on you. And I cheated on you because of you. Yeah. It's your fault that I cheated on you.
Yeah.
And you're going to forgive me, and we're going to rebuild this.
We're working on this.
Because that's what we do, and there's healing. Yeah. And Will Smith looked, and it kind of hurts to say, I'm a Will Smith fan. I grew up watching Fresh Prince. I've seen all the Bad Boys movies multiple times. I follow the man on social media. I think he's a motivating individual. So it kind of shook me when I watched this, and I'm watching this man who's sitting there, and the man looks broken. because he's got his like Jada's looking at him and saying, I did all this, this, and this. Basically admitting she's a toxic person, which has sort of been a lot of people's perspective of her.
The theme, yep.
But you're going to forgive me because I said so. And we're going to work on this because I said so. And this is a time for healing now because I said so. And Will Smith just sat there with tears in his eyes, trying to hold himself together, trying to maintain every ounce of composure, but just smiled and nodded. And I was like, this man.
Should he have slapped her?
And then, but then now you fast forward to a few nights ago at the Oscars. Will Smith, like after I watched the slap first, and then I go back and I watch this interview between the two of them. And then I go back and watch the slap again. The first time I watched the slap, Will Smith looks pissed. But then I watch this interview and I go back and watch the slap for the second time. Will Smith looks scared. Will Smith looks like a scared man who has no idea where the hell his place is. And that's like, for me, I guess being a guy who grew up watching the man and still watching the man, like, hey, I was getting jiggy with it back in 1999.
100%.
No.
Exactly. But now, like the man is, I don't know, late 40s, maybe knocking on 50, and the man looks broken. And I don't think he did that out of anger. I think he did that out of retaliation of the fear that he's living in.
A cry for help.
I think that he's been made fun of for so long.
I think the slap was a cry for help, saying, "Hey, you know what? I'm drowning in my emotions, and the only way." And again, and I'm going to break it down to my world in the prison aspect. I'm going to say, when people lash out, it's not because they can't do the time in prison. They are lashing out because they have no support.
No one's listening.
Right. So when you see a person, and again, it doesn't have we can even go in life. When someone starts cutting themselves, they want to feel pain because no one can feel their pain, right? They want to be heard, so they start making noise, right? So this is Will Smith's chance for people to take notice to him, not the situation that happened with him and his wife and all that. No, him. He wants the attention to him. Hey, I need help.
I'm with you.
Go back to the same situation with Kanye. Kanye did the exact same thing live on stage, crying, right? And people were making fun of him. We can go back to Tyrese. He had that Insta Live, crying about not being able to see his daughter for 2 years. Crying. People were laughing at him. These men were emotionally broken, and they're crying for help. And again, Will Smith is such a proud man at his craft that it was almost like he was acting to do what he was doing, and it went back down.
I agree with you. I couldn't agree with you more. You hit the nail on the head. The people around him didn't hear his words, and he had to bring it to the next level to get attention. Correct. And I don't know. Correct. This might not have been his intention. It just might have been a reaction. It might have been he might have reached his breaking point that night, because like there was one angle where the video the joke gets cracked and both Will and Jada are laughing, but then all of a sudden there's like some cut eye coming from Jada towards Will, and then it's like,
it's almost like it took them a minute to process what was said or what just happened.
Exactly. And they were like, they almost looked like, what are you going to do?
Jokes about you usually always take a little bit of time to land, right? Like when a joke is about you specifically, right? From like, especially a stand-up comedian, when you're surrounded by people, it's a high like caliber kind of event. There's a lot of celebrities in the area, right? When a joke is about you, first of all, you're socially laughing with everybody about everything anyways, right? So anything that he says, you're just laughing. Whenever you see Chris cracking a joke and he's haha about it, you're socially going to laugh with everybody else, right? And again, I don't even think that was like a real joke anyways that he said. I think he was just trying to say like, hey, You know, like Jada, I see you. Literally, that's what he was about, right? Like that's it was
Exactly.
literally, hey Jada, I see you. You know, out there.
Yep.
That was the thing.
That was
what it was. It wasn't a joke.
That was just a shout out.
Exactly.
It was just a shout out.
Yeah. And
I don't think it was a dig. Like it wasn't meant to hurt her.
No, it
Whether
wasn't a
he
dig.
knew about her
gonna say
health
something-
issues or
honestly,
not,
I'm
it
gonna
wasn't meant to hurt her.
I'm gonna say something that Tom Segura actually said. I don't know if you guys know Tom Segura or not, but he's also this white comedian. But the joke is, he says about it. He says, you know, if you're so sensitive about being bald, put a wig on. Like, you see what I'm saying to you? Like it seems like you're wearing it with pride. Why didn't you take the joke with pride? Like, it seems like that's what you're doing. You're trying to be strong about it. Like, it's such a weird thing for me in the first place, right? It's like somebody who's flaunting their flaw, and then when someone says to him, you know, like, hey, attaboy, you know, good on you, you get mad. You see what I'm saying to you? Like, it's literally, that's what it was about, right? Like, she's going there strong, and it's like, and G.I. Jane, honestly, like, that's not even an insult. Like, G.I. Jane was awesome. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about.
Again, I totally, and Jules was one that brought up. I've never watched the movie, but I know the concept of what's about. You know, strength, a woman, and is out of her element, proving herself to a man-dominated. Right,
and it made Demi Moore's a career. That movie itself, and she's an icon. Like, you know, it's just like somebody's literally saying to you, like, you know, you have a suit on, and someone says to you, hey man, you're looking like Superman, and that would make you mad. Like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, why would anybody make you mad? It makes no sense to me what's happening here.
So
you're right.
That is the reason why I think everyone is split. They're split because they feel sorry for Will, they feel sorry for Jada, but then they're mad because of the slap.
Okay, but how do they feel sorry for Jada?
Let me touch on something real quick. I don't think the split is not between the Will Smith and the slap. I believe, again, the split. Yes, we have the fact that Will is suffering and this relationship is in turmoil. On the other side, I do believe, based on what I've heard and read, is that someone who actually stood up for themselves did so not at the perfect time. It was spontaneous. So that's why people are actually cheering for Will for doing it, because he stood up for something people thought he was believing in was disrespecting his wife. That's why people are saying, yeah, you should have. Because then they start saying, oh, you know, black man, you know, standing up for their wife, and black women getting this. Don't go there. All right. This is not a black or white situation. This is not
but that's the problem, is the people that felt sorry for Jada is because just like you saw in my post, everyone's saying he's just making fun of her disease, and you can't make fun of a black woman's hair. That's exactly what everyone was saying on my post. And I was like, it was a joke. Like, it's he didn't call her he didn't call her a bald-headed fish-eye fool, or, you know, what anything.
Like, on one hand, no one's making fun of her disease, right? I mean, like, to have that, that's, we can't imagine what it would feel like to go through that. But at the same time, he, one, wasn't aware, and two, again, it wasn't an insult.
I don't believe that. I can't believe that Chris Rock. I can't believe that Chris Rock was not aware of her disease.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't aware.
No.
This whole incident made me aware.
Wait, I understand that. I understand that. But again, they're in Hollywood now. She's already said this, that she's suffering from this disease on her show,
Talk or whatever.
Right now, not everybody
watch that.
Right, not everybody access that. But again, a lot of people at that time were showing support to Jada at that time, and it could be years before, but it's not like it was not in the know, right? And again, this is Hollywood, where the A-listers rub elbows all the time. So eventually, someone's going to tell this person, this is what she's dealing with.
Listen,
right?
I don't watch, like, I haven't even seen anything for Jada, and like I don't even know what the last movie she was in. But I'll be honest with you, like, the first time I saw her with bald head, I just asked her, like, what's going on with Jada? Like, literally, I just asked, right? And my wife actually told me, she's like, oh, she's got this disease. I was like, oh, no, okay, you know, she's doing well with it, right? Like, but that's it. So I can't believe the fact that Chris didn't know. I don't believe that. But
So-
again, what I'm saying to you, it was almost kind of like an encouragement, anyways, guys. Like that's what I'm saying to you. I don't think he said it in a way where like, yo, that haircut looks ugly on you. Like it didn't come like that. It never came across as that. It came across as like, hey, you're rocking this really well. You're doing this really good. Like it was literally, I'm telling you, like a shout out. I don't understand at all how this was taken as an insult. Like, that can never be the way that was said in the first place.
So what are the questions I have? Because there was a lot of questions as to who wrote the joke. Because apparently the joke it was a pre-written joke.
No, it wasn't
pre-written by Chris Rock.
It wasn't scripted.
Okay,
it wasn't scripted.
don't believe that. That was an unscripted joke.
Yeah,
Okay,
Chris
so that's where I'm going with this next, right?
Yeah.
Right.
When you're doing stand-up, like if you watch stand-up comics and if you've gone to a live stand-up comedy show, and I'm not talking like going and watching, the popular guys. If you go to your local stand-up comedy show, guys like stand-up comics will be on stage and they will spontaneously look at someone sitting in the front row, strike up a conversation, and then jokes flow. And that's what that seemed to me. That didn't look like a scripted joke. That looked like something of Chris Rock acknowledging a fellow
with the director,
and making a comment about her appearance. And that's how that works. That's how that goes, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's the industry. That's the industry. When
that's the
industry,
and
the best of the best can do it well. Guys like D.L. Hughley, Steve
I was gonna say. So back
Bernie
in the day,
Mac.
people actually used to go to D.L. Hughley shows just for the roasting part. This other British guy, the Jim Carrey guy. You go for that. That's what you go for. And not only do you just go for that, you actually wear the most outrageous clothing because you want them to mess with you. People did that. That was a thing that you actually
and
did.
Even if you dressed normal, he would still point you out.
Yeah.
Here's a fact that everyone knows. If you're in a front row of a comedy show, it's over.
You're gonna get got. Yeah.
It's over.
This is true.
You are still part of the spotlight. If you don't want to get roasted, you need to sit in the back with the ugly people.
Yes.
And here's the thing. It goes the same with Hollywood and their award shows. Number one, they seat people in certain places because they are either nominated or part of a production that is probably nominated or whatever. That's one. The second are the A-listers who are not even nominated, and they just want to be shown. They might have a movie coming up, and some of the jokes will be pertaining to them, or they have something that's situation that is, the buzz in Hollywood. So they'll put them in front and they'll talk about them just because they need material. That's why they're seated the way they are.
Yeah.
They seat them there because they need material to make their show entertaining. This is entertainment. You're coming to get entertained. You're not going there to freaking.
I don't watch the Oscars, Grammys, none of that stuff because obviously the people I listen to or the movies I watch, they're not going to win shit anyway. So it's a very good way for them to be in the spotlight again.
Yep.
But I think that one reason why he was up front is because he was up for his he was up
his
for
award.
Yeah.
Okay. So let me. Okay, there's a lot of stipulations, or it's not stipulations. There's a lot of speculations, and I read into it. I know the sources are not the best, but it came out saying that the producers went to ask Will Smith to leave, and he said no, he wasn't. Truth be told, no one asked him to go, so he was going to sit there anyways. Now, I do believe they didn't ask him because they already knew that he was going to win that award. So what do you do when your superstar assaults a person on stage, is now escorted off, probably by security or whoever, and then he wins Best Actor?
You just
I'm going to tell you something. So listen.
What do you do?
So I'm going to tell you something because I worked on the Geminis before, and I've seen. So the producers of the actual show, the people who actually produce it, they don't know the details of who won and who doesn't win. So, matter of fact, even the people who voted don't know. It's a very, very few people who actually know who wins. They know who's nominated, obviously, because it's been announced a long time ago, right? Yeah. But again, this show was the first show to ever be produced by a Black producer, to be directed by a Black director, after basically all that. So to them, I could have told you that Will was going to win. Plus the fact that he did a good job. Like Richard, it was a film that was worthy of him. It was a time for him to get that award, right? So yeah, I could say to you that people would have known that. However, that's not what it's about, because what it's about is the fact that the man has literally committed a criminal act on TV. You see what I'm saying to you? Like I don't understand how you can ever get away with that unless you are a wealthy, crazy, powerful person like Will Smith, and go sit down, buttoning your thing as you're walking back with like a smirk on your face, like I did something like reasonable or something that my mom's going to be proud of. Like that to me is something that speaks so much of his. How
Ego.
he's just not he's not living in a real world. Like I'll tell you something even more, man, because first of all, I hope nobody so I'm a cinematographer, so actors, they live somewhat in some sort of a bubble because they have to do that, right, in order for them to get into these kind of characters and become right, and they add more to that when they become even famous and more powerful. So like he's got a driver, he's got a big mansion, he doesn't actually like hang out with people and go to Starbucks like the rest of us. That's why when they do that, TMZ catches them, you know what I'm saying? Because it's not the norm for them to be, right? So he actually thinks he's protected by whatever he's doing, his job, right? I guess that's something that he feels like he's doing. But it clearly shows me the fact that he's not stable. Like the guy's not stable. I'm gonna tell you, nobody in that guy's family is stable. I'm not, let's be honest. Everybody in his household,
it's crazy,
right? Everybody in his household has done something crazy, like something ridiculous.
Except
Trey. Like that you wouldn't
Trey's
just
the only
like,
one's normal.
the norm. Yeah, and
His first son.
yeah, that's the guy. That's the only guy that got away because he was raised half his life with his first wife. No,
I was gonna say that's from a previous relationship. Right? That's what. All right. Well, we might have found the common denominator. I don't know.
So let me hold on a second, because I'm actually going to go a little deeper. So you have all these stars there, right? You would think that they would have like the best security ever out there.
They do.
How does that happen then?
It's Will
because
Smith.
It's a by invite only event, and they don't have like this event wasn't like so you don't have bodyguards and stuff like that in these kinds of events, right?
I don't think they
in the clubs and stuff like that you do, right?
Yeah, but
in this place, it's by invite only. You don't expect anybody to go and do anything crazy. Like even Kanye wouldn't do that. Kanye would be the kind of guy who would go in and grab the mic and do this. Like
wasn't that why he wasn't invited? So nothing crazy happened.
And that's what I honestly thought was going to happen before I saw the slap. I really thought he was going to go up there and be like, yo, man, that wasn't cool. My wife is sick.
Yep.
And make him feel like garbage. And walk away. That would have made him feel like garbage.
But Jules, to answer your question of like, how does this happen? It's like
nobody expected it.
You can't have security, like you can't have a bunch of big dudes in black suits with earpieces standing around the stage when you're broadcasting this worldwide. This is the Oscars. You can't have a bunch of guys standing around working. That's why this happened. There was nobody to stop it.
But once the slap happened, there's no way he should be able to just walk back to his seat and just
no, that's this is Jules, I'm gonna tell you something. This is actually something that really like first of all, I was really astonished at the fact that these guys say, oh, we asked him to leave and he refused. Who is he? Like first of all, you don't even ask him. This is the kind of guy that you escort him out. This is the guy who's just put your host in danger. Like honestly, right now, if I was Chris Rock, I'm telling you something right now, I would be suing the Oscars for billions of dollars because you failed to protect me at my job.
Yep.
You employed me and you couldn't protect me. You see what I'm saying to you? You see what's happening to you? But
now here's the twist though. Because he reacted the way he did, Chris Rock's career is gonna blow up. And I mean,
that's been insane.
And what I mean, because he has a show, he already had the show in Boston, and that show was sold out. Do you know how much they were scalping his tickets for?
10 minute standing ovation at the beginning of it.
Yes, I was reading that. Yes, but do you know how much they were scalping his tickets for? $8,000. sold out tickets, and they said people were buying tickets for $8,000.
That's the
All right,
respect.
and all he
because
did
they
was
wanna
take a
hear-
slap.
Yeah, because they want to hear. So it's like when with Jamie Foxx, when he got beat up by LL, he did 15 minutes on it. When Cat Williams got beat up by a little kid, he did 15, 20 minutes on it.
Mhm.
Like people are wanting to hear what Chris.
What happened?
He's gonna
I
have-
don't know what happened.
Yeah.
Okay, now
But,
We were
but how
talking
long?
about-
How long ago was that?
this was just recently.
Just like 2 days ago.
No.
You
I'm
sure?
talking. I'm talking about like when the
LL?
LL incident and whatnot.
Oh, that was for.
That was after every
for
given
the
Sunday.
Given Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
That was
then
an
Cat
actual
Williams
fight.
got beat up. That was like 4 years ago. I think he
Yeah,
got beat up.
Cat Williams got beat up, but again, Cat Williams was in a weird state of mind at that time, and I think he was just doing anything and everything to be relevant, just like what we're hearing or seeing here, doing something to be relevant. He was he's another person who was reaching out for help. He was not himself, and that's what he did. He went and beat up. He tried to fight a kid, and he got beat up. That says a lot. Okay, so.
He got beat up by a 15-year-old.
Now here's the
Yeah,
like I said.
15-year-olds are
the-
strong nowadays, man. That guy's old though.
Now,
You should
now,
do better than that.
now, here's the thing. When we hear about security and so forth, I have taken in the comments that Jim Carrey said about, I don't know, have all you guys heard the story about what Jim Carrey said about the Oscars and the audience?
Yeah.
If you haven't, I can play it real
It's
quick.
not- yeah. No, it's
I
not.
didn't hear necessarily what his comment or anything about the audience,
and
but I heard his comments about the organization itself.
Let
Yeah.
me play that for you real quick.
It
All
is
right.
the genuine hypocrisy of the people, right?
Here we go. Okay. We'll play this real quick for you guys to see. All right.
I was sickened. I was sickened by the standing ovation. I felt like Hollywood is just spineless en masse. And it really felt like, oh, this is a really clear indication that we're not the cool club anymore.
There was some question today about if anyone else had walked from the audience and done that, they would have been escorted out by security or maybe even arrested. The police asked Chris if he wanted to file charges. They asked Chris, do you want to file charges? And Chris apparently said, no, he did not.
He doesn't want the hassle. I'd announced this morning that I was suing Will for $200 million because that video is going to be there forever. It's going to be ubiquitous. That insult is going to last a very long time.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have anything against Will Smith. He's done great things. But that was
Have you
not
talked
a good moment. It cast a pall over everybody's shining moment.
Well, Hollywood doesn't really respond to anything.
So as you can see, again, it's why I said it's gonna blacklist Will Smith for a while. Not say for the whole career, but for a while, because that was bad. And then I even made a comment on Twitter saying that because of his actions and where he did it and who he was, he set black people back a couple because of who he is and who he stands for. What's your take on that? Let me hear you guys.
Ladies first.
Go ahead,
Oh,
Kaylee.
man. That's a lot of pressure, you guys. That is a lot of pressure. Someone take the mic. Let me think about it. I need to ponder a little bit. Oh,
Well, okay.
it's stressing me out.
Okay, all right. Okay, I'll go first. So,
All right.
you kind of you brought up in the question that this is set Will Smith's career back.
Correct.
I agree with you. Yes, because this is going to there's a stain now. He's wearing a stain on his shirt.
Mhm.
But when we go back to what we were talking about earlier with the
Right.
situation, and you kind of bring in the toxicity of the relationship, the broken
Right.
man who's been broken by the woman, and him being scared and him not knowing his place. He might be able to make an actual great comeback. Everyone loves the comeback story.
Yes,
right?
this is
As
true.
much as
This is
everyone
true.
loves to see a celebrity fail, or someone who's got millions and millions and billions of dollars go down, everybody loves that comeback story. And I challenge any of you to argue with me. Who wouldn't want to see a comeback story from Will Smith? Who wouldn't want to see a comeback story from the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? Right? Like,
I just don't think he is going to fall off enough to actually have a comeback.
I think he might. I think there's going to be if what we're talking, if what our speculation, or some of us speculation, is that he's going through some shit right now, and there's some struggles, and there's some stuff behind the scenes that is not being that we don't know about. Because if you look at his Instagram, it's motivating, it's positive, it's energetic. But if he's battling the stuff behind the scenes, and he's going to have to take some time away, then why wouldn't we want to see the comeback story, right?
I agree with you that he's going to have to take time away. I think that he's probably going to have a little bit of a tough time being casted for a film for a while. But supporter-wise, I don't think he's going to lose his supporters. I think that his supporters are going to go strong for him. They're going to go with the battered man who's gone through a lot, and they're going to push him in that aspect. But the hiring and being casted, I think that's going to be on pause for a while.
Okay, so
here's the thing, though. Here's the thing. I don't think he can pause based on what him and his wife have already done, making their whole life public. And Laura, who's watching on YouTube, stated this. Jada made the choice to create a show to very openly expose the details of their family private life, and then be offended. Like, it's just you've already opened Pandora's box. You've let people in, so you can't take a break, because they're gonna say, "How are you dealing with this?" And then, I mean, this just like that's why people love Keeping Up with the Kardashians, because they're opening their house to all the shit that's going on. Remember when Bruce turned to Caitlyn? That was on the show, and then they just couldn't have enough. They had ratings through the roof. So this is not going to stop. They can't hide from this. It's going to happen.
So I'll tell you something. It's like he's not going to lose followers. He's not going to lose fans. People who are on the, I guess, really on the edge, like me, for instance, will just swing over to the other side. Like, I'm not going to go watch any of his shows now, right? Like, genuinely, right? Not only that.
Okay, hold on. I need you to elaborate on that. How are you? What are you saying?
I'm saying I wouldn't now, for instance, if he comes out with a film, I actually won't go and do it, because I personally I consciously make a decision about who I go and watch, by the way, in terms of who's making the money out of any certain show, any certain film, right? That's right. The one thing. So those are people like me. I don't really know how many people are like that, but the people I surround myself with are kind of like that as well, right? The second thing is, when it comes to actually making films, it's really important for like studio executives to have like a person they can control. It's really essential. Like you can't have somebody who's unhinged on a show where you're spending millions of dollars, and all of a sudden one day he just freaks out. You can't do that. There's too much money on the line, way too much, a lot more than he can afford. That's on the line. If one time somebody says something funny, or he thinks, because this is the thing right now, because right now he's just dealing with paranoia, because I could just be standing here on the set, Will Smith is coming, and I'm laughing with my coworker, and he thinks I'm laughing at him, and he takes a gun or whatever he does, and because all these things, you have to think about them. You see what I'm saying? Being on set nowadays, I used to make films 20 years ago, right? Where you could swear and stuff, you could do anything you want to do on the film set. Nowadays, things are really, really strict, right, on film sets. We're like, okay, you got to be really respectful. You can't yell. Even superstars are not like, because a lot of superstars have fell off because of the way they behave on sets. You see what I'm saying? Back in the days, this never used to happen. Used to happen, right?
Right.
But nowadays, people are being more conscious. The way you talk to men, talk to women, the way women talk to men, the way you talk to somebody who's superior to you. You see what I'm saying? All these things are really, really important right now. And you cannot have somebody who you can't trust. Like, I can't trust him to be on set now and be sane. You see what I'm saying to you? Like, I personally, and I don't know him like that, but like a person who knows millions of people are watching. You see what I'm saying to you? And he goes and he does such a thing. Like, that's the guy who's just unhinged. Something's wrong with him. He has to show. He has to show something else. He has to show a genuine like intention to fix what's going on with him. He seems by saying, guys, something is wrong with me. I am going crazy and I'm seeking help for it, and I'm gonna go and seek that help right now. What's his name? The golf boy did it.
And that is
Yeah. So what's his name?
You mean Tiger Woods?
Yeah, Tiger Woods did it, for instance, where he said, I'm seeking help, and he went away, right? Came back top of his game. He never lost it, right? Because he generally came on and says, even though it was a lot of acting in the way he read his letter, but his actions spoke louder than that. He actually did go out and he did check into. You see what I'm saying to you? So he's got to show some real steps like that. And these steps, here's the problem with this, and I kind of finish my sentence with this. Unfortunately, after winning the Oscar, this is the time when you need to be saying to reap up the real money. Real money comes after the Oscars. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like Denzel actually would have probably said that to him. Like, when you're at your best, you know what I mean? The devil comes for you. It's through the offering when now people are getting, like, the money that he saw before the Oscars was nothing compared to what he's going to be offered right now. But he screwed it. He lost it.
His comeback is going to be, he's got to be an advocate for mental health.
Yeah, that's going to be.
But it's going to have to start with him. It's going to have to start with him taking a step back. We might be witness like that. The other night might be the beginning of what we're about to witness in the rebuild of Will Smith, right? Like, he might be, he that might have been his complete come undone. And now, there might be something there might be a social media post that's going to come out to say, like, hey, I'm going through stuff. I need to take some time off. I need to reevaluate myself, my family, my career.
I think that's coming pretty soon, to be honest.
Hold on, Kayla and I beg to differ. I mean, that's the kind of that you guys are hopeful, because this could actually be the beginning of the real unraveling. That could really be like, okay, this is just a start. This guy has lost it. He's not seeking help because here's what happened right after the actual show, like in the same show itself. I mean, guys, I've gotten in fights with my wife where I've said the wrong thing, and immediately I realized I shouldn't have said this. Immediately. You see what I'm saying to you? This guy goes on stage after, and now he's winning, right? And he still doesn't think he did anything wrong. I am being called on by people to protect them, and he brings in Richard Williams' name into it. The guy's mad. There's something. I'm telling you, the guy doesn't think he did anything wrong. The fact that he made the apology the next day tells you that he was a publicist who told him, "You are screwing this up. You're going to lose your money, and you're going to lose me as a person who's managing for you. You're dumb. You need to stop this." Because the same night he was still singing, he was still partying. That's not a behavior of somebody who thinks he did something wrong.
That footage did make him look
telling you right now. That's not. He does not think he did anything wrong. He's being forced to make that apology.
And because, again, you know why it wasn't sincere? Will Smith is a brand. Will Smith is a brand. And when he signed it at the bottom, that wasn't him. Someone wrote that shit for him. All right? So let's just be real. And yes, his ego got the best of him. And it's still getting the best of him, because now they're going to make a joint appearance, and
on the red carpet,
set up this whole stage.
Yeah. So not
you don't need
was at the red
most
table,
people.
Right? You screw things up, and now you want to like get some sort of shows out of it. Like that still shows me that he's just making wrong decisions after wrong decisions after wrong decisions. Right? This is not something that he should be talking to Jada about. Not at all. I'm telling you right now.
Again, he has a lot on the line.
If she's the source of this, if she's the reason why he's behaving this way, then no, she's not the person he needs to be talking to.
But
no,
she's not the only one, though. He is part of the issue for letting it go for how long it is. Plus, I believe Jada's mom is involved with that too. She's part of the situation.
Is that their mom, the one who's on the show with them?
Yes.
What does she do?
Jada's mom.
What does she do?
Nothing.
She lives in the house.
She's like, her thing is how she looks for her age, and just joining like Jada's show.
That's all. Again, she's being taken care of by Jada and by the Smith family. All right, let's just say that. I don't know.
So she's okay.
Yeah.
But regardless of who's taking care of her and like what her position is at home, Jada has a podcast. Her mom's on it and her daughter's on it. It doesn't make their opinions irrelevant. So, regardless of who plays her or what she does,
it makes the situation more toxic.
At this point, I don't know who's giving him advice on the fact that who should he be talking to and when. Like, he really should not at all be getting any sort of clout over this thing. And he's basically saying to Jada right now, hey, you know what? Everybody's talking about us at this moment. Let's go ahead and do, like, I don't know whether it's her or him or the daughter or the son. I don't know who's doing it, right? But he should not be doing that. I'm telling you right now, no publicist in his real mind would say to him, hey, this is a good idea. Don't do that. Don't do it. You see what I'm saying to you? Because he's not going to say the right things. She's not going to say the right things. They're going to act throughout. You're going to see some tears. You see what I'm saying to you? And they're both really good actors. Really good actors. You see what I'm saying to you? But fakeness will come through.
I think whatever healing that needs to be done between the two of them, whether it's together or independently, should be done behind closed doors.
Yes.
I get that they're in Hollywood and they're in the eye, of everything. But this issue, this needs to be taken care of behind closed doors, between the two of them and individually. It shouldn't be for the world.
I don't think they know how to do that, though.
I agree with you, Jules, and I don't think it's so much an issue for Jada because she's not as big a brand as Will. It'll be much more difficult for Will to go and find a secluded place to do his healing. Jada can go anywhere.
Yep.
Right, Jada can go anywhere, but for Will, it's a much more it's a greater challenge for him to go and find his time and his place and be disconnected from Hollywood.
Correct. Now, Will is a brand. Remember that. Will is a brand, right? And there's a lot riding on him as the person. For instance, he has the new Bel Air series that is going like fire. Like, it's probably one of the best shows on TV. Okay. Now you do that. People are going to second guess it. So people are going to figure out, we don't want to support this guy. So now all those people who are on this show couldn't get backlash because of what he did to ruin his brand. All right. Movies that he was ready to go into, they're going to have second guesses. They go, wait a minute. If this guy's a loose cannon like this, we don't want him on set. Again, he's going to lose movie roles. This was just the start of something bigger, right? When he started using the Williams family in the speech and bringing up those crocodile tears, I'm sorry, you're making things worse. You're making things worse for yourself. He could have been, and I've always said this, if you had a problem with that situation, whether he was in the right or in the wrong, and you did it behind the scenes, like if you found him in the after party and you knocked him out because he said it, I'd give him all the credit in the world for that. For
That's
sure.
That's what I'm saying. That's right.
100%.
Yes.
I say, hey, you dealt with it in the proper sense and not making it a facade that everybody should have to see that. Yeah, maybe your people will see it. The close 200 to 300 people in that facility, sure. Maybe your closest friends, your bodyguards, whatever.
If Will knocked someone out behind the scenes, it would be all over it would be.
Yes,
I
get that.
But you know what? He
wouldn't
lose people over it. He wouldn't lose like people following over it. It would have been like, you know what? It would have been because you know how many celebrities have done some crazy stuff in the clubs, like P. Diddy and Mike Tyson and all these things, and we hear about it the next day. Like, 50 Cent, all people, throwing chairs over, over the patio and stuff.
Yeah.
But because it's in the club, you don't know what's been said. You can literally be like, you know what? He may, Chris Rock probably said something that really hurt his feelings, that made him lose his mind. But now we see the beginning. We see that what he said actually wasn't that big of a deal. You see what I'm saying? And that he lost his mind over nonsense. He just basically became too vulnerable for and couldn't contain his emotions. And he showed a side of himself that that he's not sorry about. You see what I'm saying? Like, he's not sorry about it. Like, he's non apology, right? Shows that he's really not sorry. He's just trying to contain like the damage. You see what I'm saying? It's a publicist. It's a publicist.
This is all
apology.
damage control.
Okay, so I agree with you that it's a publicist that wrote the apology. I'm not going to challenge that, but I don't necessarily agree with you that Will Smith isn't sorry, and he might not be sorry on a level of like feeling remorse for what he did, but
Right.
I think in the grand scheme of things of his, and look, I might be wrong. Like we might be all getting his whole situation wrong in the way that we perceive that he's this broken man, you know,
Right.
at the hands of this toxic woman.
IoT.
But
Mhm.
if
I mean, because I want to fix something that I said here. I don't think that he's not sorry. I think he's sorry that it went down like this for sure. You know what I'm saying? I just don't think he thinks he did the wrong thing. You see what I'm saying to you? Like he actually thinks I handled it like a man should have handled it, but really I shouldn't have done it here.
I don't know.
I shouldn't have done it here, and the consequences are a little too dire. Like they're too much for me to handle at this point. I just don't think he's genuinely like saying I screwed up. You see, like that whole idea of like I screwed up, I overreacted. For instance, I don't think he did that because again, he had enough time to think about it between that moment and all these people consoling him and talking to him, and being threatened to get kicked out, and yet during his acceptance speech, the guy did not come across as sorry, people. He didn't. He came across as a victim. He was trying to be a victim. He acted like a victim. And that's enough time.
But I think it's because I think deep down inside he feels like he is a victim.
But that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying to you. That shows me the fact that I'm never ever going to.
He is a victim, but not to Chris Rock.
Not to Chris Rock.
Again, his cry for help was saying, "Hey, please help me. My mental state is not the same. I need help. Here's my hand. Help me out."
Right.
That's what I heard. Denzel and Tyler Perry brought him. They went up to him and said, "Hey, no, hold your own."
I think he legitimately feels remorse because he allowed himself to get to the point where he's at. He didn't stand up for himself. He didn't man up for himself, and he became a victim within his own situation.
Well, the thing is, the reason why he's not sorry because there's people that are backing him up.
Exactly.
By saying, he protected
why
his
the divide is happening.
I don't know, because you know, like sometimes even when people are backing you up and supporting you and saying, hey, you know what, you did the right thing, you still have the ability to say, no, I didn't. You know, I might have, you know, it might have looked like I was because the thing is, you know, if we're trying to play this card of he's a victim of this toxic relationship and this toxic woman who's broken him, and that was why and how he reacted, you know, some people could be coming and saying, hey, you know, Will, we applaud you for sticking up for your wife. But meanwhile, he's sitting there thinking, that's not why I did this. I did this because I needed somebody to notice me. I needed somebody to notice that I am hurting.
Smoke and mirrors.
Yes.
That's what it is.
Yes.
So I'm just going to tell you the way that me and my friends are, right? So if I start a fight, right, my friends are in it to win it. And then afterwards, they're going to pull me aside and say, yo, what the fuck was your problem?
Okay.
And that's how some people ride. Some people just ride out that way.
I
That's just
understand
the
that.
way that they were brought up.
Yep.
So, but he's well, I actually, there's no way I could put my position in his because he's, you know, he's not as good looking as I am, but he's got way more money.
Stop your noise, Jules. Easy there, big sexy. All right.
You know what I'm saying? Cheers.
I think here's the thing. I think at the end of the day, if we're talking about him coming back, I think somebody in the actual audience has said it. The only way he's gonna have to do it in soon is he has to basically come back from the production side. He has to come from the back, behind the scenes. He does a lot of behind the scene work. People won't punish. Yeah, people won't punish. I know that you said something about that, but people won't punish the rest of his industry because he is an industry, right? Because of his behavior, right? So, for instance, the new Fresh Prince show, for instance,
Bel Air show,
Bel Air show, for instance, I genuinely think people will watch that because it's actually good. because it is actually good, right?
Yeah.
So
It's
we will
very
watch
good.
that.
Yes.
The moment. So now, if you hadn't watched it, okay, and all of a sudden you want to watch it, and you hear that, oh, it's Will Smith behind it, then that may make you feel like, I don't want to see it, right? But if you're actually a person who's watched it, who's heard about it already, you're just gonna go on and just watch the rest of it because it is an actual good show. It adds a lot. It adds so many more dimensions to the actual way that the Fresh Prince was being told, right? As a
Right.
story.
Right.
So I think that can happen. He also has a whole bunch of shows on the National Geographic. I don't know if you guys saw a lot of shows with Disney, right? So
I
he
was
has a
just
whole
about
lot
to
of
bring
new
that
shows
up.
he's behind. Yeah, so he's making a lot of moves, which are really smart moves, by the way, too. So to me, when you guys say, and I don't know, T, I can't. You said this, and you said it multiple times. You said like she's Jade is manipulating him. I can't. I don't know why
I didn't say
don't
that
know
she was manipulating him, but I think I think the way that the reason I feel is because I look at her body language, where she looks just so stone cold. Like in those, like when I watched the interview of the two of them chair to chair, and she had no emotion whatsoever. She had no guilt.
She's not as good of an actress as he is, like in acting.
Oh, I wouldn't say that. I wouldn't say that.
I don't know.
She's really good.
I don't know if I can say honestly. Like I don't know, because here's the thing. My wife, for instance, she read his book, Will, right, and she tells me about this pact that they two of them have, which is doesn't matter what happens between us, we're gonna stick it together, right? And this is a pact that he himself has made upon himself towards her, right? Obviously, he's more powerful, so if she leaves him, like he can move on. I think she'd be more damaged than him if it comes to like if a breakup happens between the two of them. And that's why they have this kind of an idea where the relationship is open. He's been a lot smarter in containing who he cheats on her with. He doesn't show, and that's because I just think he's just better than that. Do you see what I'm saying? And also because I don't think he actually gets emotionally involved with the people he cheats on her with as she does. I don't know if this is a man versus woman type of thing. I don't really know, but for a fact, I think that because he can't leave her because of the pact that he made towards her, and she can't leave him. You see what I'm saying? Too? This whole idea of her cheating on him, and he forgives her and moves on, even though it hurts him, right? And now, all of a sudden, I'm getting from these people I'm cheating on you with things that you don't give me, because that's kind of what the memes were all about, right? Like, this person would have protected me. Like the memes speak a lot, by the way. I don't know if you guys know or not, but the memes speak a lot about how people are feeling, right? But in it, Tupac would have shot him. What's the guy that she was cheating on him with, the young guy?
August.
Yeah, he wouldn't have let him speak to me. He wouldn't have let him speak like that. All these kinds of things, and these are thoughts I think honestly that would have came in the back of his head, right? As this guy is just talking about it. He's not even joking about his wife. He's not even mocking her. He's just talking about his wife. You see what I'm saying to you? So he wanted to compensate for that, to kind of prove it to her, like, listen, here's what I'm willing to do for you, because you don't see what I'm doing for you. You see what I'm saying?
Yep.
So we actually did an episode on the state of domestic abuse and how it's just as much mental as it was physical, and that's the way their relationship comes off. And
she controls the situation. She controls the situation.
She controls it, you think?
Yeah, she controls the situation. He covers up his pain, his sorrow, with the celebrity he is. I am Will Smith. I have to be this guy. He has to be this character. That's Will Smith, the character. Will Smith, the person, is the one you saw that T saw him slouch down, ready to cry. That was Will Smith, the person, because he was broken in front of his mother-in-law and his wife on a national TV show. He was destroyed. And that's when the memes came out because you saw him.
Yeah,
You saw him.
that was
He
the
was destroyed.
control. That was the control that she had. Because look, all right, I don't know any of you guys' situation, but I'm going to tell you that if I had a wife, there's no way she's gonna bring me on national TV and do that to me. That is not love to somebody. You know what? If all that's going on, you handle that at home. You don't go on a TV show and just totally trash this man. That is not love.
No, I think they were trying to come off as like a very, like, we're open and honest and we can have any conversation together. But that was something that, I don't know, it was pretty uncomfortable to watch, to be honest.
Exactly.
I think Will Smith is suffering in silence.
Yeah.
I think he has been for a very long time. And that's my opinion. I might be wrong.
No,
I
think you're 100% right.
I might be totally dead wrong. But he looks like a man who has been and might continue to suffer in silence.
Well, he just comes off as a child. So when he's getting torn apart like that, and you see him sit back and sulk like a little baby, like
that's his trauma response.
Yeah,
yep.
He's a child.
Yep.
Like, he's a child.
Yeah.
Like, he's getting scolded in front of all these people, and all you can do is sit there and just take.
He's being embarrassed. Like now, the whole world knows that he was played. The whole world can see that
he's embarrassed and humiliated. He's embarrassed and humiliated, and she has spit on every ounce of man that he has had since they've been together.
100%. 100%. And again, the only way a troubled child kind of gets the attention is he has a temper tantrum or he lashes out.
Yeah.
And that's what he did.
Yeah.
He took his hand and slapped a man because he couldn't take the shit anymore.
Right.
And I don't mean the jokes, his life. He could not take it anymore. And it was his cry for help. I'm telling you.
It just so happened that Chris Rock was the wrong person in the wrong place at the wrong time, hosting the wrong show, making the wrong joke.
I would disagree. I think he was the right person
let me
in the right place because had it been somebody else.
All right, no,
had it been somebody else,
that's a very
crazy.
good point.
I was gonna ask if it was anybody else.
They wouldn't have. Yeah, it wouldn't have gone down
that was doing the show. Do you think he would go up and approach him? Because again, this is Will Smith. He probably thinks he's on a higher level than Chris Rock. That's why he can step to a man. Now, if it was The Rock and he was doing that joke, do you think Will Smith would come step to him? Right.
First of all, I'm going to say something right now. If it was any white man, he would not have stepped up to them.
I was gonna say, okay, so I was gonna say, what if it was Jim Carrey?
If it was
right?
any
What if
like
we heard Jim Carrey give his opinion? What if it was Jim Carrey that was on that stage? Will Smith is maybe not getting
a lawsuit right now. 200 million.
Lawsuit. Yep.
Yeah.
Well,
it's true.
That's also part of it. When you said it was the first one that was produced. Directed by Black people, and then that's what happens. So
sucks, eh?
Yeah, it's like
that's what no offense, that's what white folks gonna remember though.
And
that
the Black
before organization of this whole thing went astray. By a Black man.
Right before my boy Questlove, that actually annoyed me a little bit. I'm not gonna lie.
Like
Questlove's
that's why I said this has possibly set back a lot of Black people's hard work or notice because of the actions of two African American men and another African American woman. Again, if it was white folks. And I love white people to death, but it's not gonna play out that way. It was not going to play out that way. I'm going to be straight.
Not all white folks are the same.
Right,
No, I
so,
know. But this is Hollywood. I'm saying this is Hollywood.
right,
If somebody was trying to approach a next man on stage, I'm telling you, security would kneel there in a heartbeat.
So
stopping that.
I'm actually going to read something. So it says, okay, so Will Smith slapped Chris Rock at the Oscars, but here's what else happened. The first openly queer woman of color won an Oscar. The first deaf man won an Oscar. The third woman ever won Best Director. But that's the only thing that everybody remembers.
The first time a Muslim man, because I'm Muslim, so I recognize as well. The first time a Muslim man has also won an Oscar.
There you go.
Actually, a really, really, really amazing short film that you guys should watch out as well. A lot of crazy.
What's the film?
It's the Riz-Khan film. I'm gonna actually find it out for you. Really, it's a short film. It's really amazing. Yeah.
Send it in the private chat. I would like to see that. Yeah. But yeah, like I said, there's a lot of firsts and a lot of big movements that were overshadowed because of someone else's actions.
Correct.
And that sucks because that's what people are going to remember.
For sure.
What's that?
I said that incident took a lot away from that night. That should have been, those things should have been the highlight, not this.
Yeah.
I think that if he did have an issue with whatever he had said, which I don't think that he should have had an issue in the first place, but it should have been handled behind the stage. If they are friends, like maybe that's why he felt comfortable to slap him, because this is like your friends. Like maybe he felt like he crossed the line. Maybe there was a previous conversation that was had to say like, don't mention my wife. Who knows? We don't know, right? But at the end of the day, it should have been done behind the scenes because there was a lot of other things.
That's the thing. I don't think Chris Rock would have mentioned something if that conversation had happened. Professional comedians don't do that. Like they won't do something that they know for a fact is going to cause issues, because that's the last thing you want to do. You see what I'm saying? Like you actually want to come across as professional, especially at that level. You know, like level of Chris Rock.
I don't think that he was expecting that reaction when he did say the joke, because it's almost like he says it, and then it's almost like the audience is like, oh, and then he's like, what? Like that wasn't even that bad, you know? Right. And then all of a sudden,
it wasn't even a joke. It wasn't.
No.
A joke.
He came up and he's like, oh, come on, Richard.
That's exactly. I thought he was gonna have a playful, whatever. Slap him in the back of his head.
I legit thought it was fake for like 2.5 seconds. I was like, there's no way Will just slapped him on the thing.
I was getting text messages at 5:30 in the morning about it.
It's a big deal. Like I don't think people realize how big of a deal that incident does. Again, based on how social media is the world now, that is a very, very big part of our lives. Not only is that it was on a grand stage, it is about people who we've grown up watching, respecting, liking, loving. It does a lot to society's psyche now. What do you tell your kids now? What do you tell your friends? I'm going to go see the Will Smith movie. I don't want to see that movie. Why? Well, you see what he did on. That's the conversation. That's the water cooler talk you're going to see right now.
I'm still going to tell you.
And that's one of the biggest frustrations I have with the world today is everyone gets so bent out of shape because of what somebody did. Like nobody remembers. Like, tell me one good thing that Will Smith has done. There's lots. He's done amazing things. He's a motivating
100%.
The charities that the foundations that he's a part of. Nobody's going to talk shit about any of that because all they want to talk about right now is the fact that he got up on stage at the Oscars, the most glorious spectacle of motion pictures every year, and bitch slapped a fellow comedian, a fellow actor.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that's one of the biggest, people are going to swear off all of his shows. They're and Netflix is probably going to remove every movie that's got him starring in it off their website. It's not going to be available anymore.
Oh,
and that's
Mamoon, just watch.
Right?
So has anyone seen any of that? Like, has he been dropped by anybody?
Not yet. It's too new. It's too new right now. It's too new, and because of how big he is. Yeah, until he, like I said, they're going to make an announcement and a joint announcement as a couple. You'll see what happens after that. He might say
you have to wait and see what the actual Academy itself is going to do. First of all, I think
the Academy's already. Now hold on.
So here's
the Academy's backtracking because they said in I guess in a statement on Twitter that they approached him and he refused to leave. When again, like I said, it turns out that was a lie. So now the academy, who is trying to cover up this whole situation and make nice about it, has now looked bad themselves. So you can't trust anybody in the industry. You're damned if you do, you're damned if you don't.
So the academy has to do something about it, because there is a lot that also like rides, like a lot is riding on their reputation as well, and how they actually handle certain things. So a lot of actual powerful people are actually speaking out against the fact that this guy has done something wrong. And he has to face some sort of consequences for it, guys. There's no way around it. Like you can't. Here's the thing: the whole idea that the LA police came and they said, "Oh, he didn't want to press charges and left away." That's, you're gonna see some heads roll off just because of that as well. Because just because listen, Toronto Police Services right now, if they see me breaking into a car, okay, and literally 2 minutes later, the owner of the car comes out of the house and they'll be like, "Do you know this guy?" He says, "No, but I don't want to press any charges." They're taking me in. It's a crime has been committed. They saw it. It's happening. It's happened live. And really, Los Angeles, like LAPD, really, like, since when are they so understanding to things?
Okay, I got a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're the Toronto Police, right?
Yeah.
And you see me breaking into Kaylee's car, right? You see this, but you've got me in handcuffs. You pulled me aside, whatever, and then you go and talk to Kaylee, and she says, "No, I don't want to press charges. Whatever. Either I grabbed a bunch of stuff, but you've now gotten it back. How do you now put criminal charges against me?
You've committed a crime.
Okay.
You've committed a crime.
But let me ask you this.
Here's the thing. When it comes to the criminal code, like, the crime doesn't actually have to, like, you don't have to have like the victim there. You know, so like, it's not like you have to have a body type of a thing. You know what I mean? If you've committed a crime, you were caught doing the crime itself, you suffer the consequences. You get charged. It's as easy as that. If they can prove the crime has happened, you see what I'm saying to you? That's all they need to do. Now, so for example, if Haley comes out and says, "No, this car is shared between me and him," or, you know what I'm saying to you, or, "He's my friend, he lent me the money for it," or whatever, all of that stuff, then you could say it's like some sort of muddy water, right? But she says, "I don't know him, but I don't want to press charges." No, the police is gonna catch you.
So for example, though,
you think the Toronto police are going to take me in because I've broken into Kaylee's car, but Kaylee doesn't want to press charges?
Yeah,
Kaylee is more than happy to just be like, yeah, there was $3 in my cup holder. I don't care. I'm going home to bed. You think the Toronto police is going to take me in and press criminal charges on me?
No, because that crime is not worth them their time. But now, here's the thing: if you do this on national television, let's get to what it is all about. Yeah, because it's an image thing. Is it not an image thing? Is it not an image thing? Like, should they not be upholding the law? Like right now, my brother, if the police can't protect me, and they see me getting my ass kicked, right? You see what I'm saying? And they say, "Oh, you know," and they still can't arrest the guy who kicked my ass. Like, what good is the police for? Like, that's what I'm trying to understand.
So what I'm gonna tell you is, if that was here in Florida,
this moment that he knew.
Do you have a police officer with you there?
No, if it was here in Florida, and say someone doesn't want to press charges.
Now I'm just gonna say this as a joke, but in Florida, you don't even need the police. Somebody else could just shoot you.
These state will pick up charges.
Yeah.
So
sorry. I missed that. Say that again.
I said, so if you're in Florida and you commit a crime and you say, "I don't want to press charges," the state will pick up the charges.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's a fact.
So let's just say I get, like, my man beats me up. I don't have a man, and he won't beat me up because no one can beat me up. But let's just say it happens. I'm bloody and bruised, right? Let's say cops come to my door. They ask me who did it. Well, I got into a fight with my man, but I don't want to press charges. He's just leaving the house. He's not going to go to jail.
No,
That's a different story.
No. I'm going to tell you something. No. Where do you live? Where do you live?
Winnipeg.
The police will take him the moment they see you. They won't even ask you who did this to you. I am telling you this as a fact. Any altercation between a man and a woman, domestic specifically, you see what I'm saying to you? Between a man and a woman, you say, "Oh, he's my man." I don't want. They won't even ask you, "Do you want to press charges or not?" He is staying the night in jail. I'm telling you this.
All right, go ahead, little guy. Go ahead.
Bruh. Listen. Wow.
How did we fall off Will Smith and Chris Rock?
Hey, I love it. This is what podcast is all about.
Where was the segue from Will Smith and Chris Rock to the Canadian Criminal Code?
Because this is important. Hold on. This is important because we're talking about how he abused his power, and that power, not only did he practice it on like the law, but I'm sorry, on the academy, right? That they said he refused to leave. Who the heck is he to refuse to leave? Like I kick somebody out of my house. I say, I refuse to leave. Okay, stay. You can stay the night, bro. No, it's not his place to refuse to leave. He would be dragged out by a whole bunch of bouncers, kick him outside. Yeah, we're going to shut this down because this is really dangerous. This guy just literally went and slapped somebody on national TV when millions of people are watching. This is a serious thing. We're shutting down this show. We're taking this guy outside, and we'll come back when things are happening properly. That's how serious I saw it. But then for them not to do any of that, and then give him his award, and then the rest of these hypocrites stand up.
Here's the thing.
Okay, but all right.
Here's the thing.
That's something that no one, don't get me wrong, you or any of you guys cannot do that. You would not be able to do that.
Here's the thing. It just takes one person to say, you know what, this is just part of the show. Done.
Yep.
Everything is thrown out.
Yeah.
One person from the higher ups, hey, we told Chris.
No, you can't.
Will.
You can't. No,
what do
you
can't.
can't.
Because Mahmoud, you gotta.
You can't.
Hang on.
I'll tell you why you can't. Because that show is an industry. Is first of all, it's an industry show. It's not just normal people. Okay.
I understand.
The moment when I knew it was fake, the moment I actually watched Chris Rock himself saying, Will Smith just slapped and he said the S word. Yeah, he said the S word. I knew it was fake because nobody can say these types of words on the Oscars. You cannot do it. You can't do it.
I think the rules are out the window as soon as a man stands up in his chair.
That's what I'm saying. But this actually, he's saying somebody could have said it was fake. But I'm telling you right now, these people are industry insiders. They knew the moment Chris Rock said that sentence, this is not a part of the show.
Here's the thing.
Oh, I get it.
Well, hold on. Mamoun, they've pushed the envelope on what you can and can't do on TV and movies now.
You can't do that in the Oscars. You can't. It's not even a TV and a thing. This is the actual Oscars themselves. It's a family show, guys. It's not that type of show.
You think the Oscars is a family show?
Yeah, They celebrate all kinds of films. They celebrate kids shows, cartoons. They celebrate everything.
Okay, can I ask you like an honest question?
Yeah.
Do you think a 9-year-old is watching the Oscars?
No. That's not what it's about. It's not about who's watching it. The ratings are not about who's watching it. The ratings are about the types of standards you can expect. That's what the ratings are all about.
Okay.
It's not really who's actually going to watch it. But I can, for instance, if I actually don't have TV, you guys see how funny this is. I actually don't have TV, I don't have cable or anything like that. But if I was to watch the Oscars, because I'm in the actual in the movies and stuff like that, I would encourage, for instance, my daughter to actually watch. We're practicing Muslim, right? In my household, I would actually want her to see, for instance, when Questlove is one of our favorite people. Like I would actually encourage my kids, especially the older ones, to watch the fact that look at this movie that they actually make, look at this document that they actually made. Look at it. I would do that. Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Still think that they pulled the wool over our eyes and they didn't do shit to Will. So he's running around scot-free like he's untouchable, and they just added to his ego.
Okay, so on that,
do you want him to get arrested?
Let's go back to what Jim Carrey said in that the Oscars and that the fact that they're spineless.
Yep.
And I can't argue that. He's
Yeah.
right. He's
100%.
damn right. Because
People sat
imagine
there
this
and
for a
gave this
second.
guy a standing ovation after
Yeah.
his speech, after he went on stage and assaulted, like you said, Mamoon, he assaulted a man on stage.
Right.
And he won the Oscar, and he sat there, or so stood there, did a speech, and people gave him a standing
Justifying
ovation.
his actions, bro.
Okay, but look at both.
The whole thing spiel that he made was justifying his actions and blaming it on the character that he acted on. Like literally, he says, "Oh, I'm acting the same way as Richard William would have done that," and you know, that annoyed me. I'm like, oh my god, like what a spineless man himself. Like that's the kind of man who just doesn't really know how to, like, if he did something wrong, and instead of just owning up to it, one of the two things: it's either he knew he did something wrong, or until that moment he still thought he didn't do anything wrong. Because really, if truly the Academy asked him to leave and he refused, that means he doesn't think he did anything wrong.
Okay, all right. So
like, okay, remove me if you think I did something wrong. You're going to lose people over me. That's basically what he's actually thinking, right?
Right. Okay, and that furthers the point of Jim Carrey saying that the Oscars is spineless, because as far as I'm concerned, I think they're spineless in two different directions. Number one, they're spineless because of the way that they applauded him when he won. Like, what did he win? Best Actor? Is that what it was?
Yeah.
Okay, so he wins Best Actor.
The top, like there's nothing else bigger than that.
You're right. It's the MVP. Like, he won the MVP of the season. He won the MVP of the movie season. And so it's spineless in the fact that they applauded him and they celebrated him after he won Best Actor. But before that, it's spineless in the fact that they didn't remove him, because we live in such a CYA world, in that they're probably standing there thinking, hold on a second, this is one of the nominees for Best Actor. And not only that, it's a black man. Like you know what I mean? I might be wrong, and I might be totally offside for saying that, but that's the world we live in now. Is you've got to take into consideration, okay, hold on a second, let's look at the big picture. Who is this person? What's their background? What's everything that's in play here? Like, we can't be escorting this person because, you know, again, I hate to use
so obviously hindsight 2020, but
sure, but would
just
they
to add to it, okay?
Would they have asked Jim Carrey to leave? Would they have asked Al Pacino to leave?
I think absolutely they would have. Because here's the thing. Like, so the Academy itself. So Jim Carrey actually, in his wordings, he distinguished between the Academy and Hollywood. He said Hollywood is spineless, right? The Academy, the people running the actual Oscars, is a whole bunch of people. I think thousands of them, right? They have a board of directors. On that board of directors, there's Denzel Washington, there is Whoopi Goldberg. There's a whole bunch of people who are on there, right? And you can't really make a decision on your own in it, like immediately. You see what I'm saying to you? So to discipline, that's why to discipline, they have to have meetings, right, and stuff like that. The removal of him, however, didn't require any of that, because he endangered somebody else's life, and we don't know whether he's going to do it again or not, because he did it over something so meaningless. We're scared that this guy is going to, let's be honest, like, go full on people. You see what I'm saying to you? Like what's to stop that guy from getting up again? And, you know, that wasn't enough, let me hit him another time. Because we didn't expect it the first time anyways, or pulling out a gun. I don't know. It is Los Angeles, right? You see what I'm saying? Like, all kinds of things that could have happened that I would have thought about at that moment as the actual, like, the security of the actual place. I would say, talking right to the actual management of the actual organization, saying, guys, this is not about the Oscars of this. This is not about the Academy at this point. This is about the actual venue itself. We don't feel safe with this guy here. You see what I'm saying?
You know what? If it had gotten further than just one slap, you might have an argument there. But the fact Will Smith walked up on stage, walked up to Chris Rock, cracked him one, and turned around immediately and went right back to his seat and sat down. Had he kept attacking him, and had security had to bum rush the stage and pull him off, all right, now this guy's got to go, no questions asked. But I mean, hey, look, I'm a product of the 90s. And in the 90s, you walked up, you smacked a guy, and it was over. Or you smacked him, he smacked you back. All right, fine. And it's over. And I think that's what we witnessed. And that's probably difficult for some people to see because they don't know the 90s. But I think that's what we saw. Will Smith walked up. He was upset. He took action. He smacked Chris Rock. He turned around, and that was it. And it was over and done with. Will Smith went back to his seat, and he sat back down. He had some choice words to follow, and that was it.
Mm-hmm.
But yo, T, like, hold on. So I also want to still like break down like what you're saying, because I appreciate that. I actually think maybe I missed on that point, the fact that he didn't keep attacking. The truth is, though, however, is that after he sat down, he was still going above the guidelines. Like, you can't scream out loud swearing in the Oscars multiple times, twice.
Okay.
You see what I'm saying to you?
Yep.
So that still shows you that he's still not in control.
I agree with you. I agree with you.
You see what I'm saying to you? I'm telling you right now from a security perspective, right? Like, something like that happens, I'm getting out of there.
Okay.
I'm personally getting out of there.
All right, but let's
straight up.
Let's,
I even saw what's her name? The girl that was sitting in the same table with him. And she's the only one you can see when he's actually screaming, and she had the same thoughts as me. Like, I gotta get out of here.
Yeah.
right.
Like,
But
this
let's go back.
this is not. It's so awkward and so weird.
It is.
And the guy's lips are quivering and all kinds of craziness. Like, this
I
guy's.
think it was awkward, but I don't think anyone felt like they were in danger sitting.
I
beside Will Smith.
agree with it. But let's go back
I
to the
wouldn't
earlier
have.
part
I
of
mean,
our,
but I don't know if maybe a slap for me isn't that.
let's go back to the earlier part of our conversation when we were talking about, or what I was kind of bringing up the point that he's not angry, he's scared, right? And this is his breakdown. This is his emotional breakdown from everything he's been dealing with for God knows how long. So, you know, this is his responding or this is his respond and react to not that joke, but everything he's been dealing with up until this point. And this was his opportunity to express his cry for help in front of a massive audience. And he got up, he walked across the stage, he had his confrontation with Chris Rock, and immediately turned back around. And then Chris Rock verbally addressed him to say it was just a joke. And to which he responded saying, and for what, who knows what his verbal response could have been, but he chose, keep my wife's name out your fucking mouth. But it could have been anything from shut up, don't crack jokes, understand the person's condition before you there could have been there could have been a collection of things that he could have said. But
and that's all that was needed. You see what I'm saying? Like you and I are talking rationally. That's all that was really needed at that moment, because just the fact, like, he didn't even go out there and be like, yo, don't mock my wife or don't make fun of my wife. I think he actually realized that it wasn't even a joke. You see what I'm saying? That he just doesn't want anybody, like, he has this ownership over Jada and who can actually talk about her and who can say things about. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, that's literally what I actually felt when he was at that point. Like, keep her, and Chris Rock was like, yo, I will. I would have said, like, no, I won't. Like you don't own her. First of all, guys, I'm so sorry. Maybe I should ask the lady in this thing. How does it even feel for, like, a man to, like, this is how protection is? Even Jules mentioned this earlier. We said this is a black man protecting his black woman. How does it feel to be like, how this whole idea of protecting women? I think that it makes no sense to me in that way. Nobody was attacking her physically. Jada's a big girl. She's got millions of dollars. She's all of you guys have said it. She's no slouch. You see what I'm saying to you? Like, she's able to control Will Smith himself, as you guys are actually making that claim, right? What does she need protection for from somebody speaking like that? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. It's not even an argument he can make. Actually, I think it's actually demeaning to her. When she says, I'm trying to protect my wife, I'm being called on to protect so many people. He starts to mention all the names of these kids that were in the film with him. Like, no, you don't have to protect Jada of words, man. Like, nobody attacked her. It doesn't make any
But then
sense.
again, like, we don't know what's going on behind closed doors. We don't know what conversations are going on. We don't know how she's reacting to this disease that she has, if she's crying herself to sleep and posting, you know, I feel powerful today, but you know what? There are times when I'm completely breaking down. So maybe he's seen a
but we
side to
you're
what
right.
she's going through on a deeper level. So
Yeah.
I think that when he sees her reaction, it was like, oh shit, it like I need to stand up for her now. You know what I mean? Because he's like, I just saw that pain.
You're
flash
right.
if
However,
that's what happened.
we don't know what's happening behind closed doors, but we have a clear indication on the fact that she openly is saying, I'm rocking this. I'm going to celebrate this disease that I have. That's why I'm shaving my head and I'm coming out with it like this. She's not rocking a wig.
That doesn't mean that it's not still painful.
Yeah,
No. It doesn't mean it's not painful, but it also gives a face to certain things. Here, listen, flaws in myself that I'm actually embracing, people can joke about. I'll be honest with you, but flaws that I'm actually hiding, those will hurt me more.
That's
You see
true.
what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She's not
I'll agree with
hiding it.
that.
She's not wearing a wig. She's not wearing a head cover. She's not wearing a scarf. She's not doing any of that. She's embracing it, y'all. And the guy's actually saying,
yeah, but you have to look at it like this.
Good
though.
look.
There's a ton of people that will smile outside that are so broken inside that, you know, it's a possibility. It's like all the people that have cancer and they wear a shirt that says "fuck cancer," but inside, like, it's painful.
Yeah.
So I can
But
say
those
whatever
people,
I want.
but Jules, those people, when you see them outside and you be like, yo, you're killing that cancer, they won't be hurt.
I don't know because I'm not in that position.
I mean,
so
I
can't
say
that.
the assumption.
But I mean,
because-
like, if they said, like, oh, hey, I'll see you in the next Wakanda video. Hey, are you gonna be like the next like Wakanda member? Like, as you're bald and like you're losing your hair because you're going through this disease that you're trying to push through. It's like, I would kind of be like, you're an asshole.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, in my opinion, like if I was personally going through that, where I'm a person where I can be like, yeah, like I'm strong today. But if someone's making fun, or like, I mean, not that I think that he was making fun, but I mean, obviously that's how they received it.
Did you think he was making fun of her though?
I know, as I'm saying, like, I
matter
don't
what
think
think, though.
that they were making fun, but obviously in their perception, because who are we to say, like, well, they didn't think that way or they weren't offended.
No, but the joke, but hold on, guys. Jokes have common. The reason why they're jokes is because everybody gets them. He says,
not everybody gets jokes.
You're right. You're right. I'm sorry.
Everybody gets them.
Jokes are jokes because there's a common social understanding for them, right?
Correct.
Like that's why they're jokes, right? This wasn't really a joke.
There used to be a common social understanding.
This wasn't a joke because it wasn't.
Used to be, yes.
Say again.
It used to be a common.
There used to be a common and social understanding about jokes, but now there's not.
There's
now
debate.
you have to walk on eggshells.
And I think that's probably what it's all
there
about.
began this transition where people decided that they wanted to be offended by jokes instead of embracing them and laughing at them.
Yeah, I think, and that's happening right now. That discussion actually is happening in society right now. Where we're talking about, okay, what should we be laughing about? What should we not be laughing about? You know what I'm saying? And this is, you know, people like to think that it started out with our boy, right? But this started out long time ago, right? I just think that, and I also want to separate between like the black way of doing comedy, stand-up comedy, versus the white way, right? Where the Black comedians talk about race, they talk about issues that are painful to society, and then they make it funny. You know what I'm saying to you, in a sense, and it becomes a part of like an endearing discussion between you and the rest of your community, right? And that's where Chris Rock grew up, and that's why we talk about the D.L. Hughley, and that's why we talk about, you see what I'm saying to you, all these guys. It's actually the common of saying it. White people don't do that. I haven't seen it until Tom Segura actually came about, right, where he talks about these kinds of things. But this still wasn't a joke. This was still a like, Jada, I see you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see you, you're rocking whatever you're rocking very strongly, and you're doing it well. That's what I saw it as.
I agree.
Yeah,
I agree.
But you're not her, so you can't say how she took it.
Yeah, true.
And it's also, I mean, fair to say like certain things can go down at a comedy show, but this also maybe it wasn't a comedy show, you know, like maybe
Right.
she took things a little bit more seriously because it wasn't like, oh, hey, I could be a butt of a joke, but I shouldn't. Maybe she felt like she shouldn't have been a butt of a joke.
But why?
Right. Again, it's
Why
how
shouldn't she be the
she's
butt of a
feeling at
joke?
that moment.
Huh?
Anybody can feel that way. Why joke about me? Why
Hey,
joke
man,
about? Why
if
am I
you're-
going to
if
joke
you're-
about
yeah,
you?
If you're on stage, and just I think Jules said this earlier, if you're on stage, if you go to an event and you know the event itself is being hosted by a comedian, it's either you sit all the way in the back or you take the jokes. One of the two things. You have no third
True.
option.
True.
And or you get sick of people talking about your situation.
Yeah.
It's like all five of us are probably going to look at it totally different.
Yeah.
So you can't say, well, how she would take it. You know, like me and my friends joke around all the time. And if you were on the outside of us, you would look at us and be like, why are you guys bullying each other?
Mm-hmm.
But we all know that it's all jokes, but that's us. So it's, you know, it's just, and I'm not going to say that someone's soft because they took it a different way, but we saw it a different way than.
Yeah, I see that. I see that. I joke with my
For
wife
example-
jokes that I wouldn't, for instance, make them with anybody else, you know, or even with my kids, or even just my close friends. Like I see genuinely, if somebody else was on the outside, he would think something's wrong with our relationship. You know, something would be wrong with the way that we actually are.
Right.
I see that.
Sure. Well, again, with all that is going on, that has gone on, and I think, like I said, Chris Rock will. I want to say, I don't want to use the word win, but he will benefit, I think,
He
the
will
most
prosper.
out of this situation. Yes, he will prosper. Because again, I brought this clip up on purpose because it just thinks the minute he's gonna host something and someone's gonna bring it up, because he's gonna make fun of himself, knowing that what happened to him is a big deal and people are gonna be talking about it. I don't know if you guys ever watched Head of State. It's freaking hilarious movie. And this scene, I definitely think Chris Rock will do with a Will Smith spin.
Ayo, before you play that, I actually want to say something, because I don't like how we're even talking about him as like passive, right? I think he's actually going to prosper because of the way he's reacted, not because of the way he was in the actual situation itself. He actively did the right thing. You see what I'm saying to you? And restrained himself, and therefore he deserves, honestly, to prosper.
Very true. Very true. Very true. Well, let's watch this.
Oh, good evening. We're getting married. Oh, I'm exhausted. You know what I can't decide? I can't decide whether we should have a DJ or a band. DJ band. DJ band. DJ band. Maze, darling, I've been thinking I want a small wedding, but I think I want 150, maybe 200 people. And I know I've always said I wanted a wedding in a church, but lately I've been thinking about the botanical gardens. We could do it by the tulips. Oh, it'll be beautiful, Maze.
See, again, he's gonna spin off on that and make that his own. You watch. He's gonna use that and abuse that, and you'll see. You see. Watch. Don't be shocked if you see a little spin off of something like that. You'll see. But anyways, it's been almost 2 hours, and I love the fact that we got people watching for 2 hours. I think this is an amazing topic, amazing panel of people giving their points of views, and I love the fact that everybody has respected everyone's opinions, their points of views. No one has really been talking over each other. It's been a great conversation, and that's what the show is about: conversation. So I want to thank Kaylee, T, Mamoon, again. Blessings upon blessings for every one of you guys that popped in and gave us the time to do this. We try to do our best to entertain as much as possible. Thanks to everybody who popped into the chat. Adam was in there. I saw Laura was in there. Josue was in there. You name it. Everybody who's been a part of this, and we're still getting better, and we're still trying to get better anyways. And we'd love to have any of you guys back again for another show about another topic anytime you guys have the chance. So again, blessed for you guys. It's been a long night. You guys go get some rest. I'm just happy that this has been a great show. So again, you guys, good night. Jules, get some sleep because I know you're old. Get out of here. Peace out.